Hello and welcome to this quick introduction about IBM Cloud Functions. IBM Cloud Functions is IBM's function as a service platform built on Apache OpenWhisk. And as a typical serverless platform, it relieves you from managing servers and allows you to focus on quickly developing code only being executed when needed, so on a per request basis. And in the following, I will show you by using IBM Cloud Functions UI how simple it is to write a simple function, or as we call it, an action, how to expose this function via an API endpoint, and how to let it be called by events emitted by another service, part of our event provider ecosystem. So let's first write a very simple echo function in Node.js. So we first go to develop. And here we see all the actions that we have already written in the past, but this time we want to write a new one. So I click on create action. I give the action the name echo. I want to implement in Node.js, so I leave all the settings as they are and I click create action. And it's a very simple code that I need, so I've already prepared that one. Just want to have an echo function, something very simple. So let's do it like this. And now I can test this function directly from within the UI. So I click on run this action, payload hello, just leave it as is, click on run with this value, and the result I see is you said hello. So how can I expose this function? The easiest way to expose this action is to use web actions. And web actions enable developers to quickly build web-based applications. They allow to program backend logic web apps can access anonymously. So let's enable the web action functionality for this action and find out about the endpoint and how to call it. So let's do this. Go to manage. Here we see our echo action. Go to manage action, I go to additional details, and now I enable it as a web action. Simply copy this URL, open a new browser tab, append some query parameters like payload equals hello123, and the response I get back, just because it has been called via an HTTP GET request, is you said hello123. If you need more control, you can also use our API gateway integration to expose this action. So let's do this as well. So we go to APIs and we just create a new API. We give this API a very simple name. Let's say my API, and the path is my API as well. And I create operation and I say, okay, the path is supposed to be echo, and this should map to the echo action that we have just created. I click save. And here I could specify some additional settings related to authentication, rate limiting, and stuff like that. So it gives me much more control compared to the web action functionality I've shown you before. We won't do this now. We just say save and expose. And then we copy the route. Once again, we open a browser tab, paste the route here. We had called this echo, and I append some query parameter again. Payload equals hello 456. And the response we get is you said hello 456. So now let's make sure this action is being called just because something changed in another service. So we make use of our event provider ecosystem. So what I do now is I change the code a little bit, because what I want to do concretely is I want to react as soon as something has changed in my cloud database, and I want to know the ID of the document that just has been created. So I say, okay, I want to have the ID here. So that's very simple. And now let's connect a trigger. So I go back here. Here's the action. And then I say triggers. And I say connect trigger. And I pick from the available services. I pick Cloudant. I give this trigger a name and say my test trigger. The Cloudant database I've already created, so I just pick that one. and the database that I've already created as well is auto-detected. So I say create and connect. So my trigger is here. This here is an old one that I just disable. The trigger has been created, and now I flip to the monitor so that I see what is going on in my system, so that I see all the activities. So at the moment we only see this here. You said 1, 2, 3. You said hello 4, 5, 6. All the stuff you have done before. And now I just create a new document in that database we have associated the trigger with. So I go to Cloudant. I say create document. I paste in this here. It's just a book title, so that might be a database containing information about books. I say create document. I go back to here, to my activity monitor, and now the trigger should be fired because something changed in my Cloudant database, and I should get back the ID of the document that has been created because the echo function is being executed. And here it is. So the ID of the document that has been created is this one. So now you have seen how easy it is to implement a little function that we call action, how to expose it in 2 different ways, how you can even control it using security features and rate limiting features, or how to make sure it's being called just because something changed in the service. In this case, we picked Cloudant, but we could also have picked something else, like, for example, Message Hub or any other service part of our ecosystem.